Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about driving at night safely. In this simple driving lesson, I'll be telling you 7 things that you can do to be a safe driver at night. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 1 is to use your headlights. I know that this one seems simple, but I cannot tell you the number of drivers that I see driving at night that don't have their headlights on. And I'll tell you another reason why it's important, aside from the headlights themselves turning on. In most cars, when you turn on your headlights, your interior lights are going to illuminate and your tail lights are going to illuminate as well, which is very beneficial for allowing you to see the controls of your car and allowing everyone else behind you to see where you are. Sorry about that. Now, that is a huge reason why. Sometimes I'm driving and it's pitch black outside, it's nighttime, and I see someone in front of me that I can only see because my headlights are on. Their taillights aren't illuminated because their headlights aren't on. So it's not the case with all cars, but in most cars, when you turn on your headlights, your taillights will illuminate as well. That's why it's super duper important. Number 2 is to make sure that your brake lights work. Here's the thing, if your brake lights don't work and it's the daytime, then people will still be able to see you slowing down. It's still going to be dangerous, but people will be able to see you slowing down. If it's nighttime and your brake lights don't work, that means that, all of a sudden, you're probably just going to get rear-ended because it's nighttime, you push your brakes, you're slowing down, but the person behind you probably won't see that you're slowing down, and it's, already it's darker, so it's harder to see. It's going to create a very unsafe driving situation. Your chances of getting into an accident will go way up if your brake lights don't work and you're driving at night, so simply make sure that they work. A little trick that I use is whenever I'm parked in front of a window or a piece of glass, I push the brake lights and I look behind me at the reflection, and it allows me to see whether or not my brake lights are illuminated. It's just a trick that I use. Number 3 is slow down. You should drive a little bit slower at nighttime than you do during the day, simply because the road conditions aren't as ideal. If it's daytime, your road and it's dry, it's not raining, it's not super sunny, whatever the case is, the road conditions are fairly ideal. The moment that it turns to nighttime, the road conditions are not as ideal, so you have to adjust your speed accordingly and slow down. Number 4 is increase your following distance. Now this one goes hand in hand with slowing down. You want to trail a little bit further behind the car in front of you than you regularly would. This is because your reaction time is going to be slower. Your reaction time is going to be worse because it's darker outside. With a slower reaction time, that means that if you're following too closely, you have an increased risk of getting into an accident. Therefore, to counteract that increased risk, you should follow a little bit further behind or back. I was going to say behack, that doesn't make sense. Behind or back. Combining those 2 words together, we've made a new word in this video. Anyways, moving forward to number 5, which is look further ahead. This one goes hand in hand with increasing your following distance. You want to take your sight and focus it further ahead. Look a bit further ahead if it's possible. It'll give you a better sight of any obstructions or anything that's happening on the road that you should be aware of, that you should be responding or reacting to. Number 6 on the list is to give yourself more time. Leave a little bit earlier, this way you're not in as much of a rush. If you're leaving at the last possible moment, you're going to be rushing, following too closely, driving too fast, and so forth. Instead, if you leave a little bit earlier and you give yourself more time to arrive or to get to the place, you're going to be in a safer driving position for night driving. Last but not least is number 7, which is know when and how to use your high beams. How to use your high beams is very simple. You're going to use the lever to turn them on in most cases. However, knowing when to use your high beams is a bit more difficult. You want to know when to use your high beams. You should be using them in extremely low lit situations. Like if you're driving on a street that basically has no street lights, it's like pitch black, you might want to use your high beams in that situation. In fact, I would recommend using them. However, when you have an oncoming driver, you shouldn't be using your high beams because you're going to be blinding them, right? They're going to be very bright. So it's common courtesy to turn your high beams off when you have a driver in the oncoming lane of traffic. And that's it. In this video, I've gone over some things to keep in mind for driving at night safely. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.